Hello and welcome back, my name is Sandsandal and this is Let's Play the Guild 3. We're going to be doing a scholar primary focused playthrough on this game. So I'll be going on Warsaw. I think this is a map that I haven't played yet. So we'll check it out together. As usual, I'm going to go with the same stats, nothing changed here. I'm not going to change on the character customization. I'm actually going to change this back to Reynard Gifford. That name has stuck with me and it's become much easier to refer to my character as Reynard Gifford. It's a hard task to remember what your character's name is. Now, if you want to have your character named after you, you can just type it in the comments or drop a like and something like that and message me and you'll get a character named after you. Maybe a child or a spouse. Who knows? Ooh, loading times. Beautiful. Now, what I'm going to be trying to focus is showcase the different buildings, how you can interact with them, try to show what you could do to optimize your playthrough. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm the best. Let's turn this down all the way to 30, and it's gonna shut down probably. Now I'm not gonna say I'm the best scholar player. There's no way in hell I am. But I've done a bit of scholar, and I've gotten really familiarized with it. Now in Warsaw, when you start up as a scholar, you have a grove and a brushwood right next by you. So you want to build your herb hut as close as possible to them because that's your primary raw resource build items you can collect from. So in here you can collect your lavender, honey, blackberries, and jasmine, which you can make tea and so on with. Now while that builds up, we'll do like usual. This is what you should always do if you have the opportunity. Now luckily in this map you have a lucky stone available. Now it's not as OP as before, but the extra stats are really nice to have. So I'll grab myself this, a lucky stone, and a horse is essential. Now, some people disagree and agree on this. I think having a weapon from the get-go is good because then you don't have to worry about it in the future. Some people disagree with that. They think that's not the best item. I am 100% firmly on the side that you should get yourself a weapon from the get-go because the AI in this game are very, very aggressive, and now you don't want to have a situation where you're fighting an AI and he or she can beat you down. Now that would be a pain in the ass. And what is this? Whoa, she's pretty good. Veronica. That's a pretty interesting name. Why is it spelled with a W? Now, like usual, you have your character go out and try to get a spouse. And while that happens, you have your building built up. Now, let's do the usual thing. Turn off all these useless notifications. Events, employees. I'm gonna keep what I have right there, and we'll start speeding up the game so it doesn't go in a sluggish speed. It might take me a bit of time to get myself married because I think she's on the other side of the map. So we've went all the way from up here. I'm fairly sure she's gonna be like, oh, there you are. She's not that far away. Okay, so let me guess. I'm just gonna straight up guess that oh wait, it worked. For a second there, I thought that she might have been employed because at the beginning of the game, we don't want to recruit anybody yet except a worker. At the beginning of the game, you have it so there is a chance that everybody gets employed in the game, and that's pretty nice. But if you're like trying to flow with somebody and they marry or get a job, then that basically resets your progress and you're unable to marry them. And how did I fail that? I'm actually gonna wait a bit for that debuff to go away, and I think it's gone. Let's try this again. Now, I've been playing a bit of Guild 2, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, the Guild 2 series are way more fun in terms of, like, gameplay. Because, like, even trying to, like, marry somebody... How the fuck did I fail that? It's somebody else flirting with her? Oh my god, is this for real? I'm fucking done with this game. Please don't insta-marry her. Okay. Oh, thank God. I was like, for a second there, I thought I was just lost her. That would have been awkward. Actually, no, I can do that myself. Now, we're going to be just making some raw resources for now. I think after this inventory, I'll set her on making or grabbing blackberries. The distance is very close, and I should stop her from doing whatever she's doing and give her the task to get blackberries. Now, like usual, first thing first, get yourself home, get a child, and your wife and you will be working your business. I'll try to play a bit more, because I've been asked to do this, a bit more spread or wide, so that I have multiple buildings, not one, and just focus on one. So hopefully you'll see a lot of the different types of building for the scholar. And we got pregnant, hooray! Let's level ourselves. Amazing stats like usual. Head over to, let's set this as number 2. And these notifications are a pain in the ass. And why am I not heading over there? Now again, what's so good about having your, let's actually see, what's so good about having your self and your spouse and your family working is that they can work throughout the night, unlike your worker, which can only work during the day or during work hours. Now I think it's more profitable to make this, so I'm going to be making this with both my characters. And I'll also be transporting a bit of, I need some cash. I guess I can just wait for this herb too. If I sell this, I should get a decent chunk of money. And now let's see. Okay, go up to X4. Now, once we, where is it? Nobody cares that she has a romance. Come on, okay. Okay, I'll transport some of the materials myself. And get us, oh, I can't, I can't carry that much. Let's head to the market. And then head home, or no, god damn it, 2. It's very hard to remember all these keybinds, especially if they reset every once in a while, which is super annoying. And I mean, it's just a pain in the ass. And why am I going to collect it? I'm fairly sure I gave that task to my wife. Okay. So I'll grab more herb tea and then head to the market and come back. So, so another cool trick, again, I've explained this in a previous episode in another playthrough, that if you have your own, if it's your own character, you can actually forcibly open up a window once they come from there, if you repress the same keybind. So if, for example, if I send him to, it's just a sniffle, which is our herb hut, and then I close this and I want to open it up again, if I press the same keybind, which is number 2, it will pop up again. It's a pretty nice trick you can use to make it a bit easy for yourself. Now, the reason for why my wife is having a huge issue with trying to collect materials, you see her constantly like get disturbed. And the reason for that is because there's a shit ton of other dynasty like this guy constantly trying to flow with her. Now, is that a good thing? Maybe. Is that a bad thing? Definitely. I want her to be working most of the time, and since she can't do that because somebody's disturbing her, it's a pain in the ass, but we can deal with it, no worries. So I think there should be... Ooh. Alright, so I have 2 options. Now, in the beginning of the game, the horse-drawn cart is really what you want to get as your main business as transportation method, so you can carry as much as possible with the fastest amount of speed. Now, generally it's too expensive, so you want to try to look for a ternary like this one, and if you're lucky and the game starts with one like this, you can actually buy the horse-drawn cart for a way more discounted price, which is about like 200 gold. Now I got pretty unlucky, so I have to just bite the bullet and probably have to buy this full regular price. Now I think I could switch my wife back to this. Having two people work on getting or making tea, excuse me, is a very nice way of getting money. Now I'll have her get this. What's interesting is that the home button for workers will send them to their work hut, which is, I guess it's a nice. We got our first child. It's a nice way to be able to control your workers. Now, again, we will be sending our self and our wife back home. We want to get another child. You want to get as many children as possible early game, because that will enable you to have free workers. And again, that's super good. I mean, who doesn't want free stuff? Come on, tell me. And we are running, or we probably will be running a deficit if we don't actually sell this off. Now, herb tea is actually one of the few items they can use now. It's a medicine though, so it's only useful if you want to heal yourself or you get damaged. Now we got lucky again, and Reyna just leveled again. I'm actually thinking of giving him. There is really no reason to go anything else than productivity, and I don't know. So charisma is his biggest issue. But I think if I can give him intelligence, yeah, that'll give him +2 productivity. Productivity is just basically the speed at which you produce items. It's in the guild 2 that would be equivalent to handicraft or arcane knowledge. Now for us that would probably be in arcane knowledge, but for in the guild 3 it's the same for both statistics. And she is producing way too much lavender. So I don't actually mind selling a bit of it, so open up a bit more room. It's always nice to have a bit more extra space inside your building, so you can easily control everything going in and out. Now, I mean, we started doing really good now. We have 1k gold, and it's been 1 year, and we have 2 children. So let's see if it's still profitable making this. Wait a second. Think business unlocked. Okay, so we have to work for our first building, which is the commoner, or excuse me, title. It's 1,500. We are actually pretty close to it. I think I can buy it after this dump of money. And I'll have my wife and myself producing these beautiful, beautiful lavenders and blackberries. Now, what's interesting and fascinating to me is that you're, unlike your worker, your transporter can work throughout the night, which is, I guess, is a cool thing, in case you get like an overflow if you have a raw resource building. But it's a real pain in the ass because it can easily cause an overflow if you don't take everything into consideration. Now, my question is, oh, yeah, okay, that's why I was like, wait, why does she have 9 charisma? That's a bit high, isn't it? No, that's because people like pregnant ladies in this game for some reason. I think like pregnant love, I guess. Now we can already buy our first item. I can guarantee you we're probably the first dynasty to get the first idol. There's no way any of the other dynasties have gotten it. We can look over here and best, and you can see that we are a bit higher, and our title thing majig. Now that also unlocks nothing, but it allows to build or upgrade to Herbalism 2, which makes us or enables us to produce flax, which is a very good item. Now, flax's raw material doesn't come from the grove, which is what usually you get your lavenders, blackberry, and so on. It comes from the brushwood. Brushwood is wait, was this right? Rockily? Oh, wait, cough. It actually comes from the cemetery. I forgot that. As you see, it's probably been a while for me to since I stopped playing the stupid scholar. Let's see if we can move our items over to her. I think we have a bit of too much of an overflow. I think 20 of these going into my inventory and then grabbing all the herb tea would be nice. Now, even though I'm really not, there's not a huge profit from selling raw resources to the market, it's a good idea to just do it if you have an overflow. You really don't lose anything in these beginner buildings. Now, if you have handicrafts in the beginner building, you have to take into consideration some of the factors, but it's playing as a scholar. Scholars are very OP class. Like, people think the rogue was OP. You just didn't know. Like, rogue have always been the hardest class, and let's upgrade. Kaboom! There you go. Upgraded one. Now we have unlocked Rock Lily, and with Rock Lily you can produce flax. Now, what's so good about flax is a single resource item, meaning we can easily make it without having to do a lot of different actions. Now, that's literally what the game's name is at this point. Less actions is better for you because the current transportation system is very flawed. Oh God. Let's get this all off. And so what you want to do is actually you want to have it so you can automate it. And how you automate it is by producing single product items. So I mean, there is also a cap on how much you can on how much a thing can go down in price if you sell it to the market. So if I have it, let's say if I sell 600 flax, it's still capped at 12. 12 is the minimum. Now, if I have high bargaining price on my transporter, what that will cause is that it will still give me about the average price for the items I buy. So that's why I'm getting gorgeous clothing for her. And also getting the money bag. Money bag has a +2, which is the best bargaining item and cheapest. I can give her this. I mean, it's a bit too much for her, but I mean, what can I lose from it? The extra bargaining is always useful. And let's send her home. Every bargaining bonus you get is a great thing for you because the more bargaining bonus you have, the more money you can make. More profit. Now, is she not pregnant anymore? She's not pregnant anymore. Let's send her home. And myself home. I think, like, averagely, you can get about 3 children every generation. If you do it very efficiently. Where is she? Oh, she's in the market. You need 2 fertile. I was like, wait, that's not a nice game. Now, most likely, I'm not taking my chances. This is a lie. 54%. It's like more of a 20% chance of us getting a child. So let's hope for the best and expect the worst. And we got the worst. The reason why I don't like this debuff is because the -2 charisma. If something happens and I need to improve relationship with somebody, this is gonna harm, like, just hurt me too much. Okay, back to work. I'm actually gonna have my wife collecting rock lilies. It's a very passive way of getting XP. So we really we want to have that going. Every passive XP source you have is it's basically a very good thing. You always want to have passive XP sources. What I can also do is hire another person, get them to collect rock lilies, and start upgrading the building a bit. Now we want to have extra storage slots, so we always have a bit more place to put stuff in. We want to have 1 more transporter and productivity. Now these are your 3 most important places or add-ons to upgrade. Yeah, storage capacity is also a good thing to have. So I recommend you getting that if you have a building that has access to that. Now that means we can hire 1 more. Now it's causing an overflow with having 3 people and 1 person producing flax. Now we have 2 people and 3 people collecting rock lilies. So I think the most optimal build is having your best productivity leveled character. Okay, so what's so good is you want to have an equilibrium, so get that and your buildings are super fine. Now we have a lot of money in this transporter, so we're going to send them over to market. Get some money. I think we can get the human title. That's going to be my goal for this episode. Once that's done, I'll cut it off and we'll start editing. And we have them producing, so let's speed up to X3. I think my wife is actually close to leveling, or should be, okay. So she gets roughly 7 XP each tick. Let's see actually. No, she gets 3. I get 7 XP each tick of produced flax. Now that's not a lot, but like if you leave it going for a while, it'll automatically just get you the money. So I mean, get you money and XP. So I mean, like after 2-3 years, you suddenly have enough money to well, do just about everything. Now while that goes on, I'll slow down to X2 while I do this. So I'll actually set up a new route and go up from my own and call it flax. And ooh, that's a carrying bag horse-drawn cart. Now let's get flax. And what I do usually, because the current transportation system is bugged, I'll add 20/20 on 2 of the stacks and then 1/1 on the 2 others. For some reason, I think that makes it, or I feel at least from my testing and playing with the game, is that this will make it most optimal. This is how you can basically just play the game without having to worry about it, just not taking anything over unless it's filled up. Now that we got it, we can just do this. And I personally leveled up, that's great. Oh. You know what? I'll do it. Technically, it would be smarter if you're playing a long playthrough to have high strength and intelligence and high level. So that would be level 10 on your first character, or try to get that as high as possible. Now, the reason for that, it's actually very simple. The reason for that is because there is a stat called Excellent Genes, which is very necessary, and it will produce you an offspring that's basically special. They get like a super good stat. Now we are close to finishing. We getting the yeoman title. Oh, excellent. Now we have extra skills, and wonderful. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you have any name suggestion, remember to put them down in the comments, and thank you. Have a good one.